Hi again everyone. Thanks for checking out part one, hopefully you already have, of this two-part HIKMICRO Explorer E20 test. Again, here's the Explorer, tiny little gadget. I've got it pointing back at me so you can see the coldness of the glasses. I've had a few questions, a few comments after this video. I've already contacted the team at HIKMICRO to hopefully action one or two of those, or at least investigate them. In the meantime, I decided not to squeeze in the footage you're about to see all into one video because people don't like videos that are too long. So I've got some footage from Gryphon Air Rifle Club from last Wednesday of the HIKMICRO Explorer E20, tiny thermal plug-in, as you see here, and I've got the Stellar SH50 scope. That's the 384 by 288 res, 12 micron. That's on my Air Max Arms crate as my current dedicated go-to sub 12 177 pest control rifle, until I have to give it back, of course. Best part of 1900 quid, that scope after all, so I can't keep it forever. There's also footage from the Gryphon GH35L spotter, which is the same resolution and sensitivity, but it's the handheld laser rangefinder spotter. I've got footage from all three, and I am going to, at some point, do a short follow-on where I'll go out after dark or before dawn and record on all three across some paddocks and hopefully record some rabbits. Give you an idea of what the little Explorer is like at longer ranges. Okay? But certainly as a spotter for airgun ranges, it's fantastic. And as you already know, thermal spotters are always better in cold conditions, i.e. after dark. Warm animals stand out far better on thermal images. And the reason for the rather quirky thumbnail I used as an avatar for part one of this video is I was going to include the footage from this at the end of that video. But obviously I've split it into two. It does have a safety catch on it. So, why the blowtorch, I hear you ask? The targets downrange at Gryphon Air Rifle Club on the 50-metre air rifle range, apart from a few steel frames that hold paper targets, they're all steel. And I've recorded numerous times with thermal spotters and scopes downrange, and the view is not very distinct at best. And when the heavens open and it rains, then everything sort of goes the same shade of grey. So at the end of the night's shooting session, there was a ceasefire, there were no loaded rifles, nobody was shooting anymore. Calum very kindly popped down range, partly also to speed things up, and with the blowtorch warmed up the back of the head of one of the squirrel targets at about 20 odd metres, just for a few seconds, and everyone was amazed at how long that glowed for. And over the next half hour, the heat that started at the top of, just on the top of the squirrel silhouette from the head, actually spread downwards and warmed up the bulk of the squirrel silhouette. You definitely benefit from applying a bit of heat. You can use single-use disposable heat packs that, like Bruce uses for long-range targets, but something like a blowtorch warms up the steel target and it glows for ages. Certainly long enough for everybody who was there to try out the E20, compare it to the Gryphon, and compare it to the Stellar scope. Okay, so here's the footage. So as a benchmark, here's a wooden backstop 3 meters away in a barn. I'm aiming at the top of the horizontal band of gaffer tape, and bang, there's the pellet impact, very clear, just 2.75 grads down. Contrast this to the steel targets in the grass at Gryphon Air Rifle Club. This is a rack of 4 or 5 spinners of different sizes, top and bottom, at 25 meters. You can see I have to get the focus really sharp to see them because of the daylight, but yep, the spinners of all sizes are easily hit at this range with this scope. Resetting an array of pop-ups at about 18 meters, I believe. Here I target the head of the squirrel with the Stellar, and Calum is watching for the impact through the Gryphon.
Yeah. Did you see that, yeah? Yeah, you see the flash of the pellet.
HIKMICRO Gryphon GH35L spotter, handheld behind the scenes at the range, watching Bill and Tony, and they are 20 meters away and pretty clear at 1x mag. Now the same view through the lower mag, wider angle and obviously slightly lower res Explorer E20 plug-in thermal, but it's such a wide angle, great for spotting, and that far wall is 30 meters away. Comparing directly the Gryphon spotter and the Explorer smartphone add-on, and here's Calum, kindly 20 odd meters downrange, kindly just warming up the head of the squirrel target with the blowtorch. Calum is literally painting that squirrel with heat.
Oh yeah, I can see that now. Yeah.
It's even got a halo on it.
So that's how clear that is. That's at 20 meters, and that's standing out like a beacon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good.
It's very clear on that rifle scope.
Amazing.
I like the
amazing sorcery.
Really clear.
Yeah, I can see that quite clearly.
Yeah, we're just comparing through the three thermals.
Oh.
You're impressed with that, guys? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Because I must admit, I find the black hot is. But I mean, you look at.
You
that,
prefer the black hot, yeah? Yeah.
It just stands out better to your eye, I find.
Nick's pointing out a good point here, which is some people do prefer to look at warm objects like pests in black hot mode compared to white hot. The only thing I would say is if you imagine yourself using a mobile phone as a spotter at night, if you look at this footage in black hot mode, the whole screen is naturally going to be white or lighter if there are not many live pests making the screen black. So yeah, at night you could say, using a mobile phone visible display screen, you could say certainly white hot mode might be better at night to have less screen glare. Yeah.
So I mean, the thing is though, it's all price relative. If you buy one of those, you need a really nice phone to go with it.
Yeah.
Does that work out cheaper than buying what you've got there?
I mean, a phone and the little gadget is still cheaper than a spotter, but these days most people have a smartphone. So
Yeah.
most people anyway.
I mean, what's your spotter there then?
The spotter there is about 1,850, I think.
Jesus, and you're doing that for what, £1,000?
Well, if you've already got a smartphone, that spotter's 200 or 300 quid. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, hi Calum, hi Nick, hi Bill.
Hi.
Hello. So you've all got had a chance to look through these three HIKMICRO thermals. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool.
Calum, you heated up that head of that squirrel with a little creme brulee blowtorch, and it's starting to cool now, but it's still glowing, isn't
You're
it?
still getting it through the scopes, yes.
Brilliant. So that's the Stellar SH50.
It's still clear enough on the camera.
Yep, on the Explorer E20. Yeah. So
the whole three of them, you're seeing it clear.
yeah. We deliberately warmed up the head of the steel target, just like the head of a live prey would be warm up. So there's pros and cons of them all, as I've explained, but it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Aye, that's going to be handy for doing a shed, going round the shed first,
Yes.
before you set up, to
Yeah.
see if there's anything in the shed.
The reason I didn't want to review one of these little plugins previously, I thought it might illuminate my face and the rats would run away.
Yeah.
Because you know I've only learned you frighten the rats away.
But then Bruce, yesterday when I showed Bruce this, he was saying if you get a 1 meter USB a male to female cable, you could have your phone and you could literally poke the camera on you through the doorway, have a look round and go, yep, there's rats in there, or there's pigeons,
That'll be
or
handy, aye.
there's not. And you don't even have to step in through the door. You just stick your hand in and film. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be buying a 1 meter cable and trying that out, because the camera there is powered by the USB-C port on the smartphone. But yeah, you all got to see the illuminated target at 30 meters and 20 meters there. Pretty cool kit.
Yeah, I like that. I like that scope. So I'd probably might.
You like the scope?
I might invest in one. I'll have to wait and see.
Right. Okay.
I'll definitely be getting one of them for my phone.
Oh right. Yeah. You fancy the Explorer? Yeah.
Aye, I like that.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Nick?
Well, I was going to say the image quality and the rangefinder. It's the
spotter with the rangefinder.
I mean the detail it picked up even in your clothing from across the
25 meters away. I was filming a couple of you over there, and you were talking, and Tony, you were looking through your scope there, and it, you know, you look down, you know, you can see if you're sitting down for 5 minutes and stand up, your bum will be warm. You know, it sees everything. It's very, very sensitive, this stuff. So you're pretty impressed with the little Explorer, because that's the new thing I've got today.
I like the wee Explorer. That'll be handy if you're doing a lot of spotting, but the two I'd be more on the phone gadget and
the phone add-on.
The thermal scope.
Yeah. Thanks again to Bri, Alan, Tony, everybody who offered their opinions. They were pretty much blown away by this wee fella. And sorry, Tony, but yeah, you do have to have a smartphone to use the E20. Older, more basic mobile phones, they don't have the internal supercomputer or the big screen to use the E20. But you don't have to pay the earth to buy a smartphone. This worked perfectly well with other phones. Hope that was interesting for you all. There's loads more coming up, especially imminently. I'm working on videos on the Airgun Technologies Urigan 2 Compact, the Prince with twin bottles. What that's currently wearing the excellent Sightmark Wraith 4K mini scope, which I still have one or two quibbles about, but low mag, wide angle, high mag, long range, it's pretty brilliant. So lots more on that coming soon. And we've got the high end. Thanks to Ian of Blackwood Outdoors, Bruce has got on loan right now a Pulsar Thermion Duo DXP 55, top of the range, nearly 5 grand's worth. Bruce has got that on loan. So I'm hoping to get that on my rifle, one of my rifles, pop some bunnies with it and bring you some footage. Thanks very much for watching. Please like it if you like it, share it, subscribe, spread the word, and I'll try and bring you more ASAP. And also, there's a link in the video description to where you can buy this cable on my Amazon shop to basically disengage it from the mobile phone and turn it into a sort of more of a remote spotter.